You may be wondering why anyone would want to get residency in El Salvador. The country had a reputation as one of the most dangerous in the world until recently. But El Salvador is changing. It was the first country in the world to have Bitcoin as legal tender alongside the US dollar. It recently eliminated all taxes on technology companies to attract businesses and entrepreneurs to the country. El Salvador is now one of the safest countries in the region. High-profile Bitcoin investor Max Keiser has moved to the country. He wants 10,000 people to move there too. There was some talk of El Salvador introducing a citizenship by investment scheme where you could buy a passport for Bitcoin, but so far nothing has been announced. Location and climate. El Salvador is located in Central America, south of Guatemala and west of Honduras. It has a long coastline along the Pacific Ocean. It's home to some great beaches for surfing. The country has a population of 6,300,000. El Salvador will be tax-free for most foreigners. For crypto investors who want to get residency in El Salvador, there's no tax on profits. For everyone else, you'll only pay tax on any income generated in the country. Overseas income is tax-free. There's no capital gains tax or inheritance tax. How to get residency in El Salvador? There are several ways to get residency in El Salvador. There are ways to get residency by family connections and by employment in the country. Most expats will want to go down either the pension or rentista route to get residency in El Salvador. The pension category is available to anyone who has regular income from a pension. The amount you need is based on the minimum wage in El Salvador. In order to get residency in El Salvador using your pension, you'll need to be earning 3 times the minimum wage. This amounts to just over $1,000 per month. You can get a temporary residence for either 1 or 2 years in this category. It can be renewed indefinitely. The rentista category for residency in El Salvador is similar to the pension category. Rentista residents are not allowed to work in the country, so they must prove they have regular income to sustain themselves. You'll have to prove you have income of 4 times the minimum wage to qualify in this category. That can be from any legitimate source. The amount you need will be just under $1,500 per month. There's also a residency by investment option. Under this category, you can set up a business in El Salvador. Provided you inject a small amount of capital, this will also qualify you for residency in El Salvador. Residency in El Salvador can be processed more quickly than in some other Central American countries. It's usually possible to get everything completed in a few weeks. All residence permits are classed as temporary for the first 3 years. After 3 years, you can apply for a permanent residence permit. After you've lived in the country for 5 years, you can become a citizen of El Salvador. El Salvador can offer a low cost of living and great lifestyle. It has friendly people, magnificent beaches and good food. It's probably still for the more adventurous, but things are changing quickly. Property is being developed for foreigners and crypto enthusiasts are moving there due to the country's enthusiastic adoption of Bitcoin. If things continue to go in this direction, the future for El Salvador looks bright.